Hey everyone, it's Nixie, and today I want to talk about the new Dorinthea HP1 or History Pack 1 Precon Blitz decks and how you can drastically upgrade it for around $30 to make it so much better. I'm going to do this for the classic Dawnblade build as well as an Axe build, so that way you can try out both playstyles and maybe you'll like one more than the other, and then you'll have fun. Alright, so I'm super excited about this product because it will help a lot of players try out Flesh and Blood, especially try playing our favorite girl Dory in combat. But the contents in this deck are a bit subpar, to be honest. So let's take a look at the deck list. So here we see, Dory, Dawnblade, Gallantry Gold, 2 no-rune equipment, and bolters. So we don't even have a headpiece and chest piece most of the time. But that's okay. So that definitely will have to be added in. And then we look at the other 40 card deck here. We see it's mostly just commons and some rares. So, it's very cheap, functional, but not great. The deck's around $10. $10 in value. But I don't fault LSS for this list because they want to tone down the power level for new players and have it be more of a grind than just be complete blowouts for Dory. Because especially with Downblade, it can be very punishing for new players that don't know how to block properly, right? So then the game will spin out of control and then no one's having fun because Dory is just too strong. So by having these subpar cards and having it as a maybe a little bit lower than the power level of other precons, I think it'll still make a very good deck and it should still be very fun for them to play. But this deck list won't cut it for you if you try to play at a local store with other players. So let's cut some cards and make it into a better deck, starting with the Dawnblade build. Alright, so let's start moving stuff around and cutting cards that we don't need. So we can go here. I'm gonna edit this deck. Alright, starting with equipment up here, we're going to go here, edit. We're gonna move this to the sideboard. We could keep the no runes. Let's see what else we'll cut. We'll cut the driving blades because they're good, but just too expensive for Dawnblade. By paying 2 for driving blade and then 1 to swing, that's 1 whole blue card. So you'll need another card plus another reaction to go over most of the time. So it's not great. It's too expensive. So these are gonna get cut. Then we have Flock, which is pretty good. It's an attack action card for 5, but you have to show a card. So it reveals one of your cards. If it's a reaction, it kind of tells what your opponent, what you have. So we're going to cut this out. In the swing, could be good, but most of the time you're not going to be getting the second hit because if you're getting the second hit with Dawnblade, you're winning anyway. So this one you could take off. Iron Song response is a staple, so this stays. Same with Out for Blood. Razor Reflex used to be good, but now we have a better card called Puncture, so that will get replaced for that. Slice and Dice, it's good. It's +4 for 0, but only if you hit and you could swing again. So most of the time it's going to be +1. So these could be removed. Red Stroke of Foresight is a good pump. It's also a 3 block. It lets you filter your hand. So that stays. Warrior's Valor, one of the best cards. That stays. Driving Blade, gone. Hit and Run is good, but for this deck you just need the blue, so that's gone. Iron Response, yellow. You mostly just want red and blue, so this will be taken out. Sink Below is a great card, but you want the red, not the yellow, if anything. So this one's going to get removed. And again, back here, Driving Blade for the blue, gone. Hit and Run, we're going to keep. In the swing, we're going to take out because we're not going to, get the second hit most of the time. And I think that's it. These are the cards that we'll keep. 18 cards plus the 2 sideboard. Alright, nice. From here, let's make the deck into a better Dawnblade. So starting with equipment, Helm of Sharp Eye, It's a Majestic. It's a one block that you could do, and you have a cool thing you could do with attack reaction to maybe look at the next card in your deck and play it this turn if your attack is higher than your base. So you don't really use it that often for the action, but the Battleborn effect is already really strong for this deck, so we're going to add that in. Let's see. Chess piece, I guess we'll have to search. The one we're going to use is Blossom of Spring. Destroy to just gain one action point, so sometimes you're just one resource short, so this is good. It doesn't block, but that's fine. Add this. Alright, and now let's go to the cards. So first, what I'm going to add in here are the Majestic and Supers to beef up your deck, starting with good old Glint, a very needed staple. Gives your weapon go again and draw a card if they blocked from hand. So that gets added. We're also going to add Supremacy. It makes your weapon into snatch. Basically, so anytime it hits, you're able to draw a card, and it's +2 for the whole turn. So if you're able to swing twice, it's +4 damage. So very good. So we're going to add this. And let's see. Then we're going to go to Supers. We're going to add some Iron Song Determination. This one gives you +1. Which is mediocre, but it gives Dominate until end of a turn. So if they don't have any equipment, they can only block for like 3 cards. 3 block, then you're only going to go over, so you could definitely hit. So this will help you get the second swing. So we're going to add just 2 of these. And then we're also going to add Singing Steelblade. This allows you to search for any card or any reaction card when you play it, as long as the opponent has blocked from hand. So this allows you to fetch any of the reactions like the Iron Song response to go over, or Glint to get a go again and draw a card. So this is a staple. We're going to add those. Then some other ones like Spoils of War. This is a really strong non-attack action that gives your weapon +2 damage and go again. So unlike Warrior's Valor, which is conditional go again where you have to hit to swing again, this one just automatically gives you go again. So this is really strong. I consider this up there with Red Warrior's Valor, so we're going to add those. What else? We're also going to add Twinning Blade. Just one of these. This is attack additional time this turn. So let's say you play a Glint, and then they block, overblock. You have go again, and then you can play Twinning to swing again. So this is Dorinthea's ability on a card. One of the best arts with the extended arts too. So we're going to add one of these. Alright, what else? What else? Super. Oh, Route. This is your finisher card. +3, and if they block from hand, you can return a card back. So pretty much for 2, if it's a 3-card block that they did, then it will be for 2 resources, you'll do +3 plus bouncing a card back, which is maybe a 3 block, so then it's +6 almost. So it's very strong, and this is really needed card to end the game. So we can add this. Alright, and then we're also going to add one more, Majestic in Nourishing Emptiness. So you can see our deck doesn't have any attack action cards, so this is always going to trigger where you could play this for a 6 dominated attack, and once it hits, you'll get a 5-card hand. And if you have an arsenal, it's 6 cards, so that's when you have a big momentum swing. Alright, so I'm going to add one of this. Alright, so we're short 9 cards. Let's fill out with some rares and commons. So first we want Warrior's Valor. Oops. Rest of them. Since red is good, the yellow and blues are also good. It adds breakpoints at +2, so swing for 5, and then the blue is +4. +1, so it'll be for 4. So still breakpoint. They'll need to give up 2 cards to stop it. We're also going to add Sigil. Gain 3 life as an instant, so if you end up going, first or second, it's always good to just play this +3, throw people off. I'm gonna add 2 of these. Especially when you're at, start off with 20 health. 3 life is a lot. And then what else? We have 3 more spots. We're gonna add Puncture. That's the other one. Oops, spelled it wrong. Puncture, here we are. This is the one that's replacing Razor. It's +3. It's a 3 block, unlike Razor, which is a 2 block, and also has the effect of piercing, where if they block with an equipment, it gets +1. So it could be a 1 for 4 damage. Super strong. So we're adding that. Alright, looking good. What else are we going to do here? I think we also want to add, let's add a sharpen. Yes. Sharpen steel. It's a non-attack, just buffs your weapon. It's a +3, so it's like Iron Song response, but it's not hidden information. So this is always good. 40. Let's see. Is that it? I think I want one more of this, so I need to cut some out. We'll just take out one stroke. Alright, so there you go. This is our deck. Here, equipment. I guess we'll increase the sideboard. We'll just want the rest of the null runes. Alright, so there we go. This is a strong 40 card deck. 4 sideboard for the null runes. I guess you can add something else if you want to. You still have space. 2 more cards for equipment. And then this comes out to around $40. So just $30 more, and this is so much stronger. So try this out, spin it out your local armies, and let me know how it goes. If you wanted to upgrade this deck even more by spending a little bit more money, the first thing you want to do is upgrade your chess piece from this no block 1 resource to this one, Courage of Blade Hold. It's a 2 block most of the time. You use it to block 2, and then it gets tempered, so it goes down to 1 block, but don't use it because you want to use this ability, which is when you destroy it, your sword attacks cost 1 less this turn, meaning your Dawnblade just swings for free. So it most of the time saves you like 2 resource, maybe even 3. So it's very strong. Definitely get this. It's around maybe $30 at the moment. So this would be a first pickup if you can to splurge a little bit more. And the other card I would suggest is Glistening. This will replace your Yellow Warrior's Valor. So what this does is gives your weapon go again, and anytime Dawnblade hits, you get a counter. So the first time it hits, gets 1, so you then next time you swing for 4. And if that one hits, you get 1 from this effect as well as Dawnblade, so you get +2 more counters for a total of 3 counters. So super strong. This instills fear into your opponents. They have to block this out. It gets super scary. And if they overblock too much, then this is when you could come in with like a twinning blade to go around that top block and just swing again. So, yep. This one's also maybe around $25 to $30. So, if you have the budget, I would recommend those 3 cards to upgrade your deck. Alright, so let's talk about the budget axe upgrade that you want to do for this HP1 Blitz deck. So here we are looking at the same list, that we start off with. Let's start editing it. So we don't need Dawnblade because we're gonna go axes. Let's remove that. The no runes goes to the sideboard, and we'll add in the stuff later on. Let's see, for the first one, Driving Blade. This one is a guaranteed go again, which is very nice. It is expensive, it's 2 cost still, but because of the guaranteed go again, we're gonna keep this. Flock of the Featherwalkers, you could show your card, which doesn't really matter too much because you're not really going to play around reactions. You just want to grind people down. So this could be good, but I think we want to go for the Nourishing Emptiness play similar to Dawnblade. So we're going to remove this one. In the Swing is a great card for dual wield because you're always going to be swinging twice. So this is a guaranteed, +3 for 0 cost. And it's sort of like Sharpened Steel, but it's a hidden information, so we're going to keep this. Iron Song response is similar, but this is a conditional thing where you have to have the opponent block, so we're going to remove it because they might not be blocking. Out for Blood, same thing. This one could be good, 1 for 3, but we're not really trying to kill them in the reaction phase too much, so we're going to remove this. Same with Razor. Slice and Dice is very good, it's a 0 for 4, but it only works for sword and daggers, not axes. Unfortunate. Reaction, stroke. not needed for axes. Warrior's Valor. This is a really good card, but because it's a conditional go again and we're removing a lot of the reactions to fake and bluff during the gameplay, we are not going to be relying on this hitting. So we have to remove this and just go for cards that give guaranteed go again, like Driving Blade. Yellow is still like red. It's okay. We'll keep it for now. We'll see if we could get something better. Hit and run's good. Always guaranteed go again, zero cost, and then if it's a second time, you get the additional buff. So this one we want to keep. Iron Song Response, remove. Sink Below, it's a good card, but yellow is not as good as the red, so we're going to remove this one. Keep the Driving Blade, keep the Hit and Run. In the Swing Blue, we're not going to really kill people for 1 damage, so we're going to remove this one. This, actually remove this too. All these reactions, let's remove it because we're not going for, we're not going for the secret, bluffing game. We're just trying to get efficiency of swinging twice, at least every turn, to whittle the opponent down. Alright, so let's start with equipment. So we're gonna add Blossom again. Add this to deck. And we're gonna add our axes. We're gonna add the Hatchet of Body, one of that, and Hatchet of Mind. So these work by, if you swing the first time it's for 2, and then if you swing with the other one, it gets +1 damage, so 3. Alright, now let's look at cards, starting with Majestics. We're going to start with the Trusted Glint. Go again, source, blue card, best card in the deck. We're going to add Spoils, second best card, pumps your initial attack and also gives go again. And the copper is just bonus that we will pretty much never use unless you really have a dead hand and have all blues. And add 2 of those. We're gonna add Spill Blood. So this is like Iron Song Determination that gives you Dominate, but this is for axes you control, so both of them get +2 damage and Dominate. So very good. So we're gonna add both of these. Add 1 route. I said we won't be playing reactions too much, but we still want a route for the end game finisher. Add this. Want that Nourishing again to always get the guaranteed Dominate. So 1 of this. And let's see. Looking pretty good. We're halfway there. Now we want to add our staple go against source, which is going to be the Blade Runner. So this is target 1 hand, gets go again, your next weapon attack gets +3. Oh, if we could have this for Dawnblade too, it would have been so good. We have something called Run Through for swords, but it only comes in yellow. Yeah, so we're going to add all of these. So good. Alright. Yeah, see with this, it only costs 1 too. So you swing with the first weapon, costs 1 resource. And then you play this, costs another resource. And then you swing with your other weapon, which is your last resource. So with 2 cards, you could do 2 plus 3 plus 3, so 8 damage. Very nice. We're also going to add some blues here. Let's run Energy Potion, because you'll be needing that. It's a resource heavy deck, so if you have an off turn, you can just put this down so you have a bigger turn next time. And you can also put it down by playing Hit and Run. So you have the blue and yellow already, but want to add the red. So what you do with this is you swing the first time, play like something like Blade Runner, then you play this. That means now your second weapon has go again and +3 damage. So then you could, swing for at least 6 plus whatever Blade Runner is. Maybe it was a red, so it's 9. And he has go again, so then you could either swing with first weapon that hit for another +3 swing, or you could just play the Energy Potion. Or, play a Nourishing after, if you have the resources. Let's add some more power cards. We're going to add Felling Swing. So this is sort of like overpowered, cost 3. But it's not conditional, so it doesn't matter if your opponent doesn't do anything, right? It's just upfront damage. So we'll add 2 of this in the red. We'll just add 1 blue for now. Make sure you have enough space. Speaking of kills, we want things that help us end the game, which another favorite is push forward. There's red and blues. So the next weapon attack this turn gets +3, and if this is a second time you're going to be swinging, then it gets dominate. So very nice, +3 damage, dominate. We definitely want the blues. Red will wait a bit, just we're getting kind of high on the red count. And there's some other reds I want to add, such as defensive card Sync. Since this is a bit more grindy deck, you want to have these efficient defense reactions. So we're going to add 2 of these. I'm also going to add Sigil because it's instant gain 3 life. So you could play this on turn 0 or to fake an opponent out when they thought they got the kill, and you could play this. So let's do that. You got 1 card left. First thing I want to add is Remembrance. So Remembrance is nice because it allows you to get 3 of your action cards back, basically making your deck almost 43 cards, which is nice if you're going to grind opponents down. And you could get back your strong cards like Spoils of War, Spill Blood, or even something like Nourishing. So you play it the first time, you know, they block with armor and stuff, then you could play Remembrance and get this back and play it again. So we're gonna grab one of this. Let's switch this one out. Let's remove one. Actually, we don't need both of those. Let's add a different card here. Let's get our overpowered blues back. It's another, you know, 3-4-2 or 4-4 if they end up blocking, so it could be a way to kill the opponent at the end of the game. And then let's see, rounding up our equipment here, just finish our null runes. Sideboards. Alright, there you go. This is the upgraded budget axe list. I feel this is pretty strong if you like to play the very patient style. So give it a shot, see if this is to fits your playstyle, if you like it. If you do, the next card I suggest you get is Dynamos. So this card right here will bring this deck from like a B tier to A tier almost. And what this card does is you could block it for 1, right? But then if you have swung 2 times in a turn, it doesn't have to hit. Just swing 2 times. That's all you have to do. You remove the damage counter that's on it, and you get pretty much brand new boots. So you could think of it as gaining 1 health every turn. Really strong. And you know, because it blocks for 1, it'll stop a lot of the breakpoints that come before. It's very strong. So this will be the first card you want to pick up if you want to spend more on this deck. Unfortunately, this card itself is around $80 at the moment because another hero, Kasai, uses it, and she does a lot of work with it too because she also swings twice with sabers. So because of that, it might be expensive right now, but you definitely want to keep your eye on this, and this should be your next pickup. Alright, well, that's it. You know, try both decks out. Let me know what you think. If you think some cards work better, I would definitely like to hear your feedback. I'll leave a link to the Fabrary in the description. Please give it a try. And yeah, have fun.